So this is my mini lesson for Dr. Adams, and my standard will be MGSE1 period NBT period 2, which is understand that the two digits of a two-digit number represent amounts of tens and ones. So I have a 10 frame present right here. I had to make a makeshift one. I would like it to look differently in the classroom. But what we're going to do is we will start with an activator. We will start off with a hand clapping game. And this is to get students engaged and excited about learning. I will ask students to clap and count aloud with me from 1 to 10. So my hands are holding the camera, but we'll clap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So once we reach 10, I will show them a visual representation, which would be something like this, and it'll have each frame in the 10 frame completed to show them that that 10 completed a 10 frame. So it'll be a visual representation of what a completed 10 frame looks like and what goes in it. So let's clear that off. So for that, and also giving them the visual representation makes that connection for them. It brings everything together. So that will be my introduction activator. My teaching strategies, I will show them again the 10 frame and make sure they have a good understanding of it, that each box in the 10 frame is representation of one number. Each box stands for 1. I will give the students an example of how it's used and what will be represented in the 10 frame. So I would give them an example of a 10 frame, and I would show them that there are that there are 6 frames marked within my 10 frame. And for them, I want them to be able to identify that there are 6 frames filled in my 10 frame, which shows the number 6. But also, for further thinking, they can see that there's 6, but how many more would it take to fill up our 10 frame to make 10? Well, we could say 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that they would know that the 10 frame would need 4 more to make 10, to complete a 10 frame. And that would also give them a further understanding of how the 10 frame works. For the we do section, let me clear this off, I will give each student, whether it's whole group or small group, a 10 frame. And I will go around, and I use this for an example. Each student will get a note card or a sticky with a number on it. So like this one would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on until we got to the number 10. So once the student has their number, and we could do this multiple times per student depending on their understanding and the time frame we have to do it in. So I will give them their numbers. They have their 10 frames, and they'll also have their place markers to be able to complete their 10 frame. And I will walk around and observe to see if any student is struggling, if they need help, if they need support, if they need different visual aids. I will have visual aids on the board that they can look at just to see if what they're doing matches what we have already shown in class and the visual examples that have also been given. And I'll also give an example in the we do portion that they'll have an opportunity to complete one with me, and once we get to the end, I want them to hold it up for me to see if they are doing it correctly. On the you do portion, that's the independent practice with giving them each a number, or 2 or 3, depending on the time, that's when that will be their independent practice in the you do portion. While they're doing this, I will walk around and make sure that they're doing it correctly, and again, give them the supports if needed, and offer differentiation if I can, or if it's needed. And what we will do to summarize, I will wrap it up. I'll do a wrap up of pretty much what we've done in the class today. What is a 10 frame? What makes a 10 frame? If we have, like I gave in the example earlier, if we have 6 frames, filled in our 10 frame, how many more would it take to make a 10 frame? Well, we know it'd be 4. And for the assessment of learning, I will give students a ticket out of the door to check for understanding. It'll be something like this. It'll be a 10 frame. And this one is actually going to have, let's just say this is an example of one. This one has 8. But I want them, whoever gets this example, they will have to tell me what number is shown within this 10 frame, and then how many more would they need to complete the 10 frame. So they will be showing me what's within the 10 frame and also what's needed to complete the 10 frame. And that'll just tell me if, hey, I get it, or hey, I don't. And that is my mini lesson.